Do you think that the average, former gang member suffers from some sort of PTSD from the stuff that they've seen?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. From shootings, from getting shot, seeing their homeboys getting their heads blew off or getting shot and killed. You have nightmares about that. You know what I mean? Especially if you was out there on the front line and you was either taking fire or giving fire. It fucks with your psyche. So fireworks and bright lights and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? You still had that in the back of your head. Even though I know I ain't doing nothing wrong. You know what I mean? I'm not out there gang banging. I'm not on the front line no more, but I still live my life a certain way. You know what I mean? And I always live my life like that because that's what I'm programmed to do. I don't go to certain stores. The way I drive, I don't drive too close to the car in front of me. I always leave myself a lead way. I'm always checking all four mirrors. You know what I mean? It's just like the military. You go over there and you're in the military, you see all that murder and killing and stuff like that. You come home, you bring it home. Gang banging was the same way.
Yeah.
I've asked a couple of OGs this question, and I would love your take on it. How many people, and maybe including yourself, I don't know, but how many people who grew up in this lifestyle, who grew up in the hood and maybe didn't even gangbang, how many of us, them, do you think suffer from some sort of PTSD?
Oh, no. Listen, every single person that's been to the youth authority, that's been in prison, they all suffer. That off the back, they all suffer for it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, but they all suffer it. You're not going to go through such traumatic experiences and come out normal, brother. Regular white people who go through a divorce, suffer and have to see their psychiatrist, or they lost their, $1 million job, and oh my God, my life's over. I got to live in Sherman Oaks instead of Beverly Hills. And they still have some form of PTSD and got to go at psych. Somebody who's seen somebody get shot, get killed. 15-year-old kids aren't supposed to be going to funerals. For somebody getting their head blown off, for a rival turf, for a rival neighborhood, and that was happening all the time. Every single one of us, including myself, to this day, I got problems sleeping. I'm not gonna lie, brother. I gotta take certain pills to go to sleep. If not, I won't sleep. And I was talking to a buddy of mine. Today, and he was kind of opening up about this. And I was telling him, yeah, bro, I got that issue. He's like, fool, I think I got these. No, I said, you don't think, fool. You've done about 20 years. You've got them issues. And the sad part is, especially in Latino communities, or Latino prison community, let's say, that's a no-go. That's weak. That's being a punk. But what the f do those guys know about being a psychiatrist or know about mental issues, brother? No. It's not weak. It's what it is. It's this, man. We as human beings have an armor. We all have an armor. We're born with it. Some less than others, or some more than others, right? And somebody getting shot, somebody getting stabbed, you getting beat up, you getting fucked up. Your parents this, little by little, it's like a hammer chipping at your armor. And one day, bang, that armor cracks, man. And my armor's cracked. I know that for a fact, man. I lost my brother a few years ago. I don't really speak on that. And that cracked my armor, brother. And there's always situations that after so many years of getting that, it's a little hammer just chipping away. It cracks it all armor. So people in neighborhoods that are, let's say they call them urban, ghetto, barrios, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, absolutely, brother. Every single one of us, every single one of them has some form of PTSD.
Yeah. I didn't go through a quarter of what you went through, probably not even close to what you went through, but isn't it good that because I feel this way personally, having my platform, isn't it good to actually have a platform to get this out? Because there's a lot of people who this is just stuck inside of them, it's bottled inside of them. You can actually get in front of the microphone and do, you know what I'm saying, just do your thing and get it all out. How good, doesn't that feel good to you? Or
no, yeah, no, absolutely, brother. I actually did one on depression and PTSD, and I spoke about it. And I got a lot of people on there, just like pretty much what I was speaking about just earlier with you. And I got a lot of people saying, "Oh man," I even got phone calls. "Hey, Gil, I didn't know that." I said, "Brother, we are going through this, man. We all have the same issues. The problem is, especially in brown and black communities, be tough, be gangster. Everybody tough, gangster, tough, gangster. Well, no, we hurt, homie. We all have pain. We all have loss. No, and it's a great thing because in my situation, I can speak about it, and people are like, that motherfucker has those issues. I do too. I kind of feel like I'm opening the door for some of these people to come out. Hey, dude, come on, listen, you're not alone, brother. We all have these issues, and yeah, and that's why I'm digging the platform. That's why I'm trying to get that message out there, brother. Because listen, at the end of the day, we're all human beings, brother, and we all just want better life and try to figure out how we can better ourselves in life.
Everything, you know what I'm saying, that the average person goes through in the neighborhood, not necessarily even a gangbanger, but someone who grew up in certain neighborhoods where there were gangs and things like that. Do you think the average person in the neighborhood suffers from some sort of PTSD?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're really warring with another neighborhood, and they neighborhood is only one street that separate y'all. They end up being when it's wartime, and gotta really be on point. Be shooters, you might get 2-3 shootouts in one day. So y'all so close to each other. Yeah, I think definitely a lot of gang members suffer from PTSD.
Do you think the average gangster, or OG or veterano who's been through what you've been through, do you think they suffer from PTSD?
I'm positive of it. I personally, I have been diagnosed with the PTSD or whatever, post-traumatic stress. I personally I've been seeing a therapist for 2.5 years now. And prior to that, when I was a kid, since I was, I think, about 7, I've been in therapy all the way until I hit prison. Then I was off therapy. I got off. I wasn't in therapy for many years until about 2.5 years ago. And it was because when I get angry, and it started to get worse as the years went on without me addressing that issue of post-traumatic stress. My ideals, my thoughts were a lot worse than before, and I was lucky enough to see it. I would get angry with somebody over the smallest things, but me wanting to react to them was so far worse. You know what I mean? And it was always way overboard. All of them were going to give me a life term. So yes, the PTSD or POST, whatever, this post-traumatic stress is the real thing as far as us. It only gets worse as you get older, though.
There's one thing that's positive about it, is that you're seeking therapy, because I would say not, or you have, because 99% of our people don't seek therapy. They think it's a sign of weakness.
Well, I'm going to let you a little bit on my personal. I've been here the whole time for my daughter. I wasn't here the whole time for my son. So there's a little bit of space between me and my son. He holds grudges towards me. And, I can't blame him. I was gone most of his life. And he's already at the age, now he's already 30. But he was at the age of rebelling, you know what I mean? Doing things and saying things and acting like a man. I'm a man and this, that, okay? Trying to test his limits with me as far as being a man, like man of the house. Now, during this process, which is a normal thing, I started to get thoughts in my head. And it wasn't like, okay, I'm going to kick his ass. No, it was like, I'm going to murder this guy. He keeps with me, I'm going to murder him. He wants to test me, I'm going to murder him. And I caught myself. I was like, what the f*** am I talking about? This is my kid.
Wow.
This ain't that serious. There's something fucking wrong with me. And I've always been off on me. My anything I've ever said in my life pretty much is filtered. I will never tell you exactly what I'm thinking. And the reason being is because I know my thinking is off. So I always kind of try to think before I say anything. And when I realized what I was thinking about my kid, I was like, you know what? I got to get help. Because if I don't, I'm going to kill somebody. It might not be him, but it's going to be somebody else. I got to get some help. So I went out of my way and I found help. And since I found that help, my aggression level has gone so far down. And out of all those years I had the therapy, I never gave it a thought. I never tried it. I just sit there, yeah, okay, whatever. Because they used to take me to free Kentucky Fried Chicken when I was a kid. They would take me out to restaurants to talk to me. So I was getting the food. I'm getting whatever. It wasn't until I think about a year ago what we feel like, well, my therapist and me figured out what has made me the way I am. I had a uncle that was very abusive. Physically abusive. He would just hit me, slap me, call me a bitch, and it affected me.
Watching someone
you
take
can't
their last
unsee it.
breath.
Yeah. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I could imagine how, you know what I'm saying, like gangsters who have seen death right in front of them, how they feel. Man, I saw that shit on my phone, someone I don't even know. That shit fuck with me, but I can imagine. Let me ask you that. That leads me into my other question. Do you think the average gang member who used to gangbang suffers from some sort of PTSD?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. The dreams, some even nightmares of guns whistling over your head, or if you doing the shooting, you know what I'm saying? I remember one night in particular was a house party, and I went, and it was the last time that I seen my homeboy OZ, rest in peace. I went into the house, I said hello to the lady that threw the party, and then her mom, and then I walked outside, and OZ was standing by the garage. They converted into a bedroom, but he was standing right there, and me and him had talked about doing a song called OZs and Ns because of our government names were similar.
Okay.
Me, him, and another guy. You know what I'm saying? My name is Rosano. His name was Ozanda. The other homie, his name was Ozine. So we was gonna call the song OZs and Ns. You know, ounces and money, basically. You know what I'm saying? But it was all tied together by our names. So he was like, what's up with going to the studio, yada, 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 this and that, you know what I'm saying? I had just got another pager, and, being out in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Me and my thing was, to be that player, you know what I'm saying? So I'm out of town getting at different females or whatever. So my pager go off. I go to San Bernardino. I lead a party. I go to San Bernardino, pick my little broad up, bring her back to my apartment. And we just kicked it at my house. And then the next morning, my mom wakes me up because the neighbor said that she feels sorry and sending her condolences to what happened to her son. And she was like, what do you mean? My son is at home. She was like, no, your son got killed last night. So then she banging on my door. So I wake up, open the door. Mom, what's wrong? She said, the lady downstairs, her name was Sandra. She said that you got killed last night. I was like, nah, it ain't me. I'm opening the door. I'm half asleep. You know what I mean? So I was like, well, let me get on the phone and make a few phone calls, see what happened. And then come to find out, Ozanda got killed. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, our names were similar. Mine is Rosano. His was Ozanda. So they just heard the syllables and. You know what I'm saying? And just had the name mixed up, and then, like I said, made a few phone calls to the turf, and then I found out what happened later on, and it was sad how he lost his life, The paramedics could have got there a little sooner, you know what I'm saying? It was and I was just there, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of the killing that was going on, I was either working or on the road.
Do you think a lot of gangsters suffer from PTSD?
Hell yeah. Everybody got that shit that's ever grew up in any gang environment.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, man. I'm talking about the shit go deeper than that, OG. Come on, man. Everybody done grew up in single parents' homes, man.
Yeah.
So when you
Had to
ain't
be
got that
shit.
mother figure or that father figure, you know what I'm saying? And just like I told niggas, I was like, cause I actually grew up good. I had my mother and my daddy living in the same house. Shit, it's
Mm-hmm.
just my brother started this Crippin' shit.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah.
For real. But I know where all that shit leads to those because all my homies I grew up with, they ain't never had no mother or father at home.
Yeah.
Nigga, they either got their mother or nigga, they got their daddy. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't never had both parent figures at home. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was telling the difference between blacks and white. White people actually raise their kids. I'm talking about now you put that on a regular black child that all he have is a mother. And he going through all this shit that's America gotta give to you. You feel me? Cause
Yeah.
yeah, America is cold to the motherfucker. For real. I'm talking about to blacks anyway. Feel me? And he gotta go through that shit and he ain't got no male figure. Oh yeah. He gonna grow up to be a fucking killer. The hell you mean? Cause all he ever seen was disrespect at his life. Real.
Yeah. Talk, man. Talk. That's why it's so important for dads to stay around, man. Something like 7 out of 10 black fathers are not present in the home, and that has a big influence on everything that happens in our community. Everything.
Man, I told my nephew, cause you know what I'm saying, my sister, most of my family passed away from natural causes, so I ain't tripping. You feel me? Ain't nobody killed my peoples. But I got my nephew with me, and I just try to show him, nigga, that I'm your father figure, I'm your mother figure. So take it how you want to. I'm gonna teach you right. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I be showing them everything that I'm speaking to you, OG. I show them that shit. You feel me? Like, look, he ain't got, nigga, all he got is his mama. That's it. For real.
Yeah.
So, hell yeah, he coming outside with attitude. Feel me?
Mhm.
He ain't got no father figure. He ain't got nobody around him that's, just gonna show him the ropes at a life.
Yeah. That's so true, man. Damn. I like how deep we're getting, man, and youngsters out there need to listen to this, dude, because we're older. I'm in my
Man,
40s. You're
what I'm saying is, bro, OG, everybody been listening to our thing was just like, man, I know you was deep like that. I was like, man, I be trying to teach everybody, but if y'all want to learn, bro, I ain't gonna waste my breath. Feel me?
Mhm. Yeah.
Cause I'm gonna point you in the right direction. It's all on you to take that direction.
Exactly.
Feel me?
Exactly. Exactly. Keep doing that
Yeah,
shit,
it's
man, because these young kids out there, they're lost. Their OG is like 2 years older than them. You got a 17-year-old and his OG is 19. Back in your day when you were banging, your OG was several years older than you. You had someone to talk to. You know what I'm saying? Now you could be that person.
yeah, nah, what I'm saying is everybody who I run across, OG, I'm talking about no matter what skin tone you is. If I see you going down the wrong road, I'm gonna try to give you this advice that nigga I soaked up from living. It's called
Mhm.
experience. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, take it from a person who already got experience. Feel me?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
that's my whole message to everybody. Take it from a person who already got experience. For real.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, we
That's
done
dope,
we
dude.
done been there and done that, bro. Feel me?
Yeah, man.
So if I could try to help, I'm gonna do my best just to, speaking into your mind. Hopefully you hear me. You hear me?
Mhm. Yeah.
Hopefully you hear me. You know what I'm saying? I can't make nobody listen, but hopefully you hear me.
Yeah, man.
That's the only
That's so
thing.
true, dude. And that's why I do this. That's really why I do this. I don't do this to glorify the gangster life. I do this to first of all
Nah,
educate that
what I'm
there's hoods
saying,
all over the country, and I do this so people like you could drop little jewels and gems like that on
nah,
this
that's what I'm
generation.
saying
Hopefully,
though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't on here speaking up on my gang like that, man. I'm on here trying to drop some knowledge, man, 'cause the world needs to hear this shit. You hear me?
yeah, yeah.
I'm talking about 'cause man, we losing our babies for real. If the streets ain't killing them, these polices is.
Asking
I
for
ain't
it.
never been on drugs. You can see my shit. I be going a little crazy, like I can disturb because noises and stuff be bothering me. It's like a PTSD, whatever it's called, a little PTSD thing.
Yeah.
When you be on the street for so long, especially if ain't nothing wrong with you, you be alone. Like it was times where I was outside just rocking back and forth, like I can't even catch a day. I be so damn upset, like.
I would love to know how you personally, mentally dealt with it when you heard that you were going to be doing life, how you're dealing with it on a daily basis mentally. And, have you ever heard of anybody taking it to the level of, taking their own life because they just couldn't deal with it?
Oh yeah, virtually I have seen many people kicking out of their cell dead after they have hung themselves. That's been something that I have witnessed. That sad to say I have become numb to. Seeing somebody, especially when I was in and out of the shoe, I've seen it quite often. But mental health is something that I believe almost 100% of the prison population suffer. And it's like, it's crazy because in here, you can't even go really get no mental health, or you're looked at as a weirdo, or you might in certain places, depending on how deep the disturbed you are. If you go to what they call EOP, it has outpatient project. It has outpatient program. You go over there and around like a gang of real crazy people that are throwing stuff on each other, hitting each other, yelling all night, screaming. And some of those people are over there because they need to be over there and they really need help. And if you're one of those people that just so happen to snap and you end up over there, you try to come back to the general population, you might get stabbed for going over there. And when I first came in prison, I thought that was like tough. Dang, like you can't go over there with a JCAT at. Go over there, you done. But now that I have matured and have a different understanding, it's sad that you can't even go get mental health in here. In certain races, you can't even go talk to the psych.
Damn.
Like there's certain races, if you if you have a like mental health issue, going to put in the slip to go to talk to mental health professionals, that's a no. You can't do that at all. It don't matter what you're going through, and that is a very sad reality. The more and more conscious that I become of mental health issue, because I suffer from mental health issues. I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress, and I went through some of these things. Like when I was in Pelican Bay, when you go to the hole, they didn't used to give you your TV. Only how you get your TV is if you were under the mental health program. So a couple dudes decided to act crazy and go into the mental health program while they were in the hole to get their TV. So at first I wouldn't do it, but after I had came out on the yard and did what they call laid the yard down, which come out and did something, caused the police to have to come stop me from doing something violent. After I had did that a few times, I felt like they not about to say nothing to me. So I went into the mental health program solely just so they'll give me my TV while I'm in the hole. But in order to stay in the mental health program, you gotta participate in the program, and that was something that was life changing for me because when I started participating in it was more like, let me just do this so I can keep my TV. I used to talk to this lady. She was not the term, but she was some type of social worker, a mental health social worker. Her name was Miss Fox. She taught me how to meditate, and that is one of the things that has changed my life. It is why I can sit on this phone and talk to you with such clarity because she taught me how to slow my brain down, and that was huge for me. Like I always like in my book, in my acknowledgement, I talk about Miss Fox and what she did for me in the mental health program as far as the meditation she taught me. And so I started to go through that with Miss Fox. I was meditating with her. We were doing different little exercises, and she taught me a lot about myself in the mental health program. And the things that she helped me learn about myself was I couldn't blame myself for how I came up as a kid from my environment and none of that. And some of the stuff that I had adopted, the behaviors, the work pieces that I adopted, it all came from my environment. And now that she was able to allow me to understand that, it made me forgive myself. It made me forgive myself for, because I did put myself in here, but it's like, you didn't know no better. You've been around this kind of behavior your entire life. You were actually egged on by adults throughout your life to do this type of behavior. So now that you understand, now you got to be responsible for your own stuff. And that's where I'm at today. And if I wouldn't have went through that mental health program, I believe I'll still be struggling with that right now. So I am a big fan of people getting help when it comes to mental health issues. That stuff does work. And I'm actually so proud of myself that I'm able to talk about this and not feel ashamed to let people know, yes, I'm part of the mental health program, and it helped me very, very much. And I encourage anyone out there who wants any mental health issue to go get help before it's too late. There's always people out there to help you.
Man, amen to that, dog. I wish more people of color, period, would seek mental health, because just like you, there are a lot of people who grew up in the hood. Even if they weren't gang members, they still suffer from PTSD from a lot of the stuff that they've seen. I'm sure you've seen stuff that, a Army veteran or a Marines veteran who served in Afghanistan, has probably seen.
Yeah, sure. And that's deep when you put it in a way. You shouldn't see some of the stuff. Like, I always look back and like, some of the stuff we've seen as killer. I even think about the dog fighting. We used to have like a famous dog fighting ring in my backyard, and we really used to see all the kids, all the dogs. We used to sit here and watch these dogs tear each other up. And I understand now. That's when we started becoming callous. That's when all that callousness, cold-heartedness was being installed in. You're sitting right here just watching these dogs kill each other for joy, though.
Yeah.
That's deep.
That's so deep, man. My dog started barking outside when you started talking about dogs. That's pretty damn ironic. Man, dog, yeah. It's really deep, man. So how do you deal with it mentally? Hopefully we have a couple more minutes. Maybe you could tell people how, I'm sure doing things like this help you mentally. What are some other things that you do? Meditate.
I'll be utilizing a lot of my self-help too. I always utilize my.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
But one of the other tools that I use the most is my positive self-talk. No matter what's going on, I always tell myself, it's going to be better. Don't worry about it. It's going to pass. It's going to be good. Keep your head up, bro. It's almost over with. One more day. It's over now. Next day.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Those positive self-talk, something I utilize on my day. today has certainly been one of the days I didn't utilize all day.
The dirty, dark history of minorities and mental health in the U.S. and why we are far less likely to seek therapy and use other mental services that are available to us, just like they are to the white man who uses them a lot more. A lot of it goes back to the slavery days. We're going to talk and we're going to get a little deep into that. Oh, I'm going to give you a real history lesson tonight, gang. Not that bullshit that they taught us in school. Oh, no. Oh, the history of mental health. And not only that, just the history of black people, minorities, and doctors, period, coming in contact with doctors, throughout history. It's a very, very dark history, and we're gonna talk about that tonight a little bit. So make sure you buckle up. Hope you don't have your little I'm offended panties on, cause this ain't one of those shows. Oh, that's right, they were experimenting on black people way back in the slavery days, all the way up to the 1970s. Oh, word to mother, yo. Oh yeah. And I was born in the 70s. So there you go. It's a dirty, dirty, dark history. See, guys, black people like to say things like, I'll put it in God's hands. I'm not going to seek therapy. Nah, I'm not going to. I know I have a lot of issues, but I'm not going to seek therapy. I'm not going to talk to somebody. I'm going to put it in God's hands. Oh, we are famous for using that phrase. I'm going to put it in God's hands. We don't say things like, I'm depressed. No. Black people don't say things like, I'm depressed. We say things like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Oh, if you ever hear a black person say that, that means they're depressed. Mark my words, gang. It's in the Latino culture as well. Why they don't trust not only the mental health aspect of medicine and things like that, but they just don't trust doctors and things like that, period. They don't say, I'll put it in God's hands. They'll go see a curandera or something like that. Some fucking spiritual healer who's gonna give them some fucking herbs and some holistic witch doctor shit, and they'll do that, but they ain't gonna go seek therapy. No. That's crazy talk. It's crazy talk. Why do we, gang? Why do we distrust the mental health field? It's a huge issue. Why minorities don't trust these services. It goes back to slavery, guys. They were experimenting on slaves back in the day. They had doctors fucking experimenting on slaves and trying new shit and experimental C-sections. And I wonder what happens if while they have this child, I inject them with this. And they were doing crazy shit. We'll get a little more into that tonight. You've all heard of the Tuskegee experiment. That was the first one that got national exposure. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, damas y caballeros, this shit has been going on for years. Decades, hundreds of years. Why minorities are least likely to seek therapy and other mental health services. It goes back. Way back to slavery. Slaves were being experimented on. There were doctors up until the fucking, I mean, this was going on up until the 1970s. And look, I'm not one of these people who live in the past. Oh, Dusty, you're living in the past. This is all the shit that you're talking about. I'm giving you guys a history lesson, okay? I'm letting you know why, you know, blacks and Latinos and Asians especially, they lead the charge in not going to seek therapy and shit. I'm telling you why they don't seek therapy. And let's think about the shit that black people been through. Not you know, the average black person, but you know, black people who live in the hood, who grew up in certain areas. You can't tell me that when they see, I don't know, one of their best friends get shot right in front of them at age 8 as they're walking to third grade class together. You can't tell me that doesn't mentally fuck with a kid. If anything, these kids, and that's why shit's going on in the ghetto right fucking now, these kids need mental health. They need therapy. And no, in the black community, no. Mm-mm. In the black community, hell no. In the Latin community, hell no. And in the Asian community, surprisingly, they don't seek it either. They'd rather put it in God's hands. I'm going to put it in God's hands. God's going to take care of me. Or they go to a curandera or something like that. No. Well, white people go to therapy. Not saying that it helps, but at least they use the services that are given to them. And a lot of that has to do with the distrust of how they treated slaves back in the day. They were experimenting. Okay, let's rewind. I'm going a little too fast. Radiation. Birth control pill. Syphilis. These are just a few things that were experimented upon black people back in the day. The birth control pill, which I love the birth control pill. I'm so fucking out, man. Woo! The birth control pill allows me to bust a nut inside of my wife almost every night of the week, and it's awesome, and not have to worry about it. Oh, the hormone thing. I don't have to deal with that. But the birth control pill. I mean, they went to Puerto Rico was an American territory, so they would just go to Puerto Rico, use some of the uneducated Puerto Rican women. They're like, we don't want to mess up our women in the United States. No, let's go to Puerto Rico, right? We own Puerto Rico, right? Hey, we own Puerto Rico, right? That's one of our, we're good? All right, cool. Puerto Rico. And they go to Puerto Rico. And they do experiments that would leave these women, their insides all fucked up. They would experiment on women and a lot of them would die. And it is all right. Yeah. Gotta go. Back to America. And then what they would do is they would, let's go to the Tuskegee experiment. I mean, that's the one that everybody knows. Hey, you have syphilis, Mr. Black Man? Yeah, let's, we have this we're testing these drugs, we're testing this stuff. Yeah, why don't you come on and try this experiment that lasted for 40 fucking years, up until like 1972, 6 years before I was born. They were experimenting on black people, and many died. Many were just jacked up on the inside. Up until 1972. So think about it. People who were born in my generation, for instance, they have an uncle or a cousin or you know, someone who went through that shit. So they're telling you, oh man, don't be fucking, hey man, don't be fucking with the doctors, man. I'm telling you, man. What? You want to go to the
You want to go see therapy? Man, you a pussy. You want to see therapy? You a puss ass. Oh, you're seen as a bitch in the black community if you even mention therapy, if you think about therapy. And that's in the Latino community as well, machismo. No, Holmes, nah, fuck that shit. Drink another beer, Holmes. Fuck therapy. I said, hey, therapy is your corona, home. That's our mentality, and that's why we don't seek therapy. And these services are right in front of us, just like they are any person in America. And you can't tell me that a kid a gangster in Chicago who shoots people, who sees people get shot, who sees and is experimenting some of the most horrific shit, not even bullshitting, comparable to a army vet, you know, who went to Kuwait in 1992. Like, this is the same shit that this dude is experimenting. It's fucking warfare in these streets, and these kids are not seeking therapy. They need somebody to talk to.